Hi, this is Sherry Darden. How are you? Happy Friday! I'm coming to you with the latest FMLA Friday post, and I really appreciate the response that I'm getting and the amount of questions that I'm getting. It's wonderful. It means that I'm providing you with information that is beneficial to you. And I went through and sorted through all of the questions, and this is the one that I most frequently got in the past week. And it states, Sherry, can we deny or be held responsible for offering FMLA if they do not formally request it? Can we deny them leave if they don't personally come in and request it? And the answer is no. And here are three words I want you to keep in mind when we look at FMLA, and that's change in behavior. Again, change in behavior. And here's what I mean. If I have been an employee of yours for the past 5 years and I have had perfect attendance, and let's say in the last 2 to 3 months, I have been calling in periodically, let's say 2 to 3 times a week, or let's even say 2 to 3 times a month in sick. That's change in behavior, because remember, past several years, I have had perfect attendance, and now I'm calling in sick. That is considered change in behavior. And listen, I don't want you to take my word for it. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read from, I call it my benefits Bible. It's called Mandated Benefits. I'm going to read from the 2014 version of Mandated Benefits on that change in behavior. And actually, there was a case, and it says, in a significant case, Byrne versus Avon Products Incorporated, and this was in 2003, where an employee had a good working history, was seen sleeping on the job. Before his employer could confront him, the employee called in sick. He was diagnosed with depression. When the employee was ready to return to work after 2 months, the employer would not reinstate him. The employer's position was that the employee had not given notice, and the court held that sudden and unusual change in behavior should have been sufficient notice. Remember, change in behavior. If an employee has a mental or physical condition that prevents him or her from giving notice, he or she nonetheless be entitled to FMLA. The court, and actually in this case, has given rise to a term, quote unquote, Byrne exception, and that's the person who had the case against Avon Products. Change in behavior. And this is where we should be proactive. We don't want to necessarily get into their personal business and ask too many personal questions, because we know that good old HIPAA. But we do want to ask about the change in behavior. So again, let's role play. You're the employer, you are HR, and I am the employee. I've had perfect attendance in the past 5 years, but in the past couple of months, I have been calling in sick. So either you just want to go ahead and send out that MedCert that says, hey, here are the following qualifications under FMLA, and go ahead and take it to your HCP, which is your healthcare provider, and have them fill out the proper documentation so that we can determine if this is an FMLA qualified event. Or again, this depends on your corporate culture, it depends on the situation, depends on the employee. Maybe you would bring me in and say, hey, Sherry, I noticed that you've had perfect attendance, and in the past couple of months, we've noticed that you've called in sick on a periodic basis. Here's a key question that could help you with that. Are you seeking treatment for the reason that you're out? And if I respond by saying, yes, I have been to the doctor 3 times in the past 3 months for this situation, again, I don't necessarily have to name it, but for the reason that I am calling in sick, that now constitutes as a serious health condition, because I am seeking continuing treatment, and that's one of those other key phrases that we use in FMLA. That is enough to put you on notice that I could have an FMLA qualified event, and you may want to go ahead and designate that, or at least start the dialogue, the paperwork going, that this is an FMLA qualified event. Let me just add on to this. If you have been approached with a rumor, maybe you overheard something in the break room or the cafeteria, or you heard managers speaking about an employee who says, yeah, you know what, they've been calling in sick, they've been saying that they're going to the doctor maybe 5 or 6 times in the past couple of weeks or past couple of months. There's that thought process in your mind that they are seeking continuing treatment, and this could be a possible FMLA qualified event. Listen, we're all about covering your assets and being proactive instead of reactive. We don't necessarily want to reinstate that employee after we falsely, by the Department of Labor's standpoint, of wrongfully terminating them. Remember we talked about the $50,000 to $300,000 it could cost you if the Department of Labor has deemed that this was an FMLA qualified event and you have wrongfully terminated them. So just recapping here, change in behavior. So even if the employee has not formally come to you in writing and formally requested FMLA, know that that still could be an FMLA qualified event. That change in behavior is enough to get the dialogue and the paperwork rolling so that we make sure that our employees are covered under FMLA and we don't get hit with a wrongful termination lawsuit. I hope that this has been a great help to you today. And again, go ahead and post questions, inbox me if you have any questions that you would like for me to address in the upcoming FMLA qualified events. Or actually what I should say is, if you have any questions you want me to answer in our FMLA Friday post, go ahead and inbox me or go ahead and respond to this video. Also, if you're reaching this video and you're not a part of my FMLA Friday Monday Leave Act LinkedIn group, go ahead and join it. Just hit me up with a notice and I want you to come in, join, and chime in, because you know what? We can all learn from each other. This is Sherry Darden with your latest FMLA Friday post. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye for now.